Just when I get used to the amount of stupid shit I see in the news, they completely blow my mind and go to the next level and expand in ways I never thought possible. These people are so fucking creative in how dumb they are. And I get so tired of it because I see this shit every single day for years and years and years. And you read articles about people who cover politics and it makes them depressed. And this is when sometimes I just take a break from it because it's just so fucking annoying. Even though I don't try to for it to personally affect me, but it just over time it does, no matter how much you do. So, okay, let's get into this. Let's just go into it. I have all my links ready for this to cover this. I'm so glad that the news is not talking about this often, as much as it was last month. But I mean, the March to Save Our Lives is coming up later this month, so they're going to be talking about it because that's exactly what these students are doing, right? They're marching to save their lives. They're under attack by the evil people who own guns, and they're marching to save themselves. That's the narrative the media is putting it out there, and it's just so far from reality. Like, the word retarded does not capture the essence of how monumentally stupid that narrative is. They have to come up with new words. I really wish they come up with new words. Like brain dead, I use brain dead a lot because they are literally not using their brains. Oh my god. Look at this. First of all, the gun, who drew that gun? That is the most horrible drawing of a gun. A gun that actually had those proportions would not be able to be used at all. That's fucking hilarious. But beside the fact, banning these scary looking guns is apparently reform. No, I'm sorry, you blonde fucking idiots. But taking away people's constitutional right to bear arms and constitutional right to defend themselves, the right to life, the most important life, that is not reform. That is fascism. That is big government bearing down on people and we know what's better for you more than you do. Therefore, we're going to make you a helpless victim so this white, liberal, dumb bitch can feel better. That's what it means. And look at this dumbass sign by this dumb fucking bitch. One more gun equals one more death. Then why is it that the number of guns in the US has been rising, yet the homicide rate has been going down for years? No, but stats contradict your cute little narrative and your cute little sign. So you don't pay attention to stats because you base your opinions on your feelings and what you think and not what the actual stats are. Man, these people piss me off because they're so fucking retarded. Look, that's what's supposed to... my god, I can't even talk. Activists protest in front of a gun manufacturer that makes an AK-47 rifle. Wait, that's supposed to be an AK-47? Is that what they actually think it looks like? Because that is so fucking not correct. Anyway. Florida Governor Dickhead's spineless bitch signed gun restrictions and school safety measures. Oh, that's what they are? Oh, that's what you're calling it. It's not banning people under 21 from buying guns. It's not taking away their constitutional rights. It's not taking away their right to defend themselves. It's school safety. Will someone think of the children? That's exactly what he says in the second paragraph. Every student in Florida has the right to learn in a safe environment. Then why are you making the environments not safe? Now, he is saying, to his credit, he is saying that arm some school employees. So maybe that will make the environment safe because they actually have teachers or staff that have arms. But that doesn't justify the new gun control measures. So I'm really surprised that he was doing this. So it has some good right here with the planning to arm school employees. I already said in my previous political video how that's a good thing. But the gun control measures still trample on people from ages 18 to 20. So tramples on the constitutional rights. So I can't support this. Because the constitutional right to arm school employees, that's not a constitutional right, it doesn't exist. But an adult to own firearms to defend themselves, that is a constitutional right. And that's how I base my opinions on these things. On whether or not something is a right or not, and whether or not something is a privilege. Gun control restrictions, including the raising the age to buy firearms to 21. That does not contribute to a safe environment. It doesn't contribute to school safety. It doesn't contribute to any of that. It just tramples on people's human rights. So then these dumb bitches right here will feel good. Imposing a 3-day waiting period on most firearm purchases. The guy who shot up the school in Florida had his gun for months. This 3-day waiting period would do absolutely nothing. Can someone, for the love of God, explain to me how a 3-day waiting period would have prevented this shooting or any other shooting? The people who had these weapons had them for a very long time. They planned these things out for months and months. It wasn't just a spur of a moment, oh, I'm pissed off, I'm going to go do this. This is completely asinine. It does absolutely nothing except, once again, to make these dumb bitches feel good. It makes them feel safe. Feel, as in it doesn't actually do anything. And banning bump stocks. Did the kid who shot up the Florida school, did he use a bump stock? No, he didn't. The Las Vegas shooter did use one, I'll give you that. Did the Sandy Hook shooting use one? Did the Aurora movie theater shooting use one? Did the Virginia Tech shooter use one? No! The one in Las Vegas is one of the only mass shootings I can think of that I could find where they used a bump stock. But since it looks scary, since it makes guns do scary things, and it was used in a very deadly mass shooting, I think Las Vegas was the deadliest mass shooting. I can't keep track of them all. I think it was higher than Orlando. So they were going to ban it because it's scary, and it was used incorrectly one time to kill innocent people. Well, why aren't you banning other things that kill so many people? We'll get into that later. Like, the argument I'm going to use is, well, why don't you ban cars? They kill tens of thousands of people every single, way more than guns. You're going to say, well, that's because cars are primary purpose is for transportation, not for killing. It's like, well, guns, their primary purpose is not to kill innocent people. It's used correctly to defend innocent life, to defend yourself, defend your family against thugs, murderers, whatever. I don't see a contradiction in logic. It was like a car used correctly, transportation. A car used incorrectly, to kill someone. A gun used correctly, to defend yourself. A gun used incorrectly, to kill innocent people. But yet somehow you're banning one but not the other when the parallels I just made there are exactly the fucking same. Blah blah, I'm not going to read this whole thing, I'm not going to be here forever. They're already opposed. Good job. Yep. And this goes into details of things I just talked about. It's just fucking brain dead. It's so fucking stupid. You know, people have been ragging on the media for using phrases about guns that don't actually exist, so I'm only going to touch on this because picking on tiny little words, while it is correct in making legislature, becomes redundant after a while because you never expect these liberal dumb fuck-ups to actually understand how guns work. An assault-style rifle, that is not a characteristic that exists. That literally describes nothing about any gun ever. It just sounds scary. If it's a big black gun with a big magazine and it's all metal and plastic, and therefore it's an assault style. Like, there is literally no use in using that phrase. And when I see someone or hear someone use this, that just tells me that they have no idea about guns and therefore they shouldn't make legislature about guns. Why are you letting people who know nothing about guns create legislature about guns? I mean, it's a constant line that, like, pro-abortion people say. It's like, oh, men know nothing about abortion because they don't have to go through abortion, they don't have to deal with getting pregnant, whatever, so therefore they aren't allowed to have opinions about abortion. Well, I'll just use the same logic against you dumb radical liberal fuck-ups that you use against me all the time because I'm anti-abortion. I'm going to say, since you know absolutely fucking nothing about guns, you can't identify any important characteristics about any type of gun, you can't even name a type of gun, whatever. Therefore, you shouldn't be able to make legislation about guns. Oh, how do you like it now that your own logic is made against you? Yeah, it's fucking annoying, isn't it? People under 21 carried out just 2 of the 150 mass shootings from 2009-2016. So this raising the age to buy guns to 21 would only have prevented 2 of the 156 mass shootings. And even then, it wouldn't even prevent them because they could have gotten their guns through illegal means in the black market anyway. So right off the bat, even if these people were not able to get into the black market for whatever reason, it would only prevented 2 mass shootings. Now let's hypothetically say that 2 of those mass shootings were some of the worst, of like 40 killed apiece. So this legislature is made based on the deaths of 80 people. Now, why that is a tragedy, you have to put that in comparison, because in the time that I've made this video, 80 people across the US have died for way more other reasons than gun violence. Gun violence is so ridiculously low in this country. People make it out like it's some epidemic because it's high compared to other countries, but when you take out the 4 leading cities of gun violence, Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, and Baltimore, DC, let's make that 5, we plummet to like 4th from the bottom. We literally have next to no gun violence in this country if you take out those 5 fucked up cities run, coincidentally, by radical liberals. And it's like the amount of people we have, 340 plus million people, we have 330 plus million guns, and yet when you take out those 5 fucked up cities, we're 4th from the bottom when it comes to gun violence. How can you possibly think that lots of guns or our gun culture contributes to a lot of gun violence? It just, the amount of, if gun owners were a problem in this country, we would have a much bigger problem than what we have, because we have so many fucking guns. Not that it's a problem. It's so fucking ridiculous. Oh, thank God we are not doing this because of these Parkland activists, these brain-dead fuck-ups that are just completely fucking stupid. And assault weapons banned. Oh, they didn't get to ban the scary-looking rifles. Oh, so people will have a chance to defend themselves. Damn it! My fascism can't be enacted. My feelings aren't enabled. I'm a teenager. I survived this. I should be able to, my feelings are validated through my experiences and not the actual logic and rationale behind it. Fuck you. God, I wish I was on the stage whenever Marco Rubio was with these stupid fucking teenagers and they were being complete dicks to him. And I hate Marco Rubio. He's a fucking almost said the right word. He's a horrible politician, horrible mainstream Republican. But yet, even I was like, dude, you should have just gone off of them like motherfuckers and just like, dude, the NRA has nothing to do with what you experienced. For now, it seems as if gun control advocates will take part in the partial victory in anticipation of a more protected battle. To come on assault weapons ban. So nothing is enough for these people. They already got part of what they wanted by denying constitutional rights to 18 to 20-year-olds. A libertarian candidate, Arvin Vohra, I think is his name, came up with a good point. It's just like this Florida thing banning people from owning guns until 21. It's just like alert to all rapists. Women 18 to 20 on college campus never there are completely unarmed, like 100% unarmed because they're not going to break the law. It's just like, you are making sitting ducks for people to be raped, murdered, robbed, assaulted, mugged, all because you want to feel safe. You are like categorically making people unsafe by denying their right to defend themselves in order for you to feel safe, because you aren't safe either. All these liberals who complete fucking faggots and don't own guns and think that violence is bad, and then if someone breaks in the house, they're just going to call the police and then everything will be okay. You know, they actually trust the police and actually think that they're going to come in time. You know, they're not safe either from all this shit. So it's just like, so neither the people you're disarming nor yourselves, because you're a liberal fuck up, are safe, and yet you think this is the way to go. I mean, it's just, oh my god, dude. This is just, oh my god, it's just so, it is so overwhelmingly dumb. that. So then we go on, so we had to deal with that fucking stupid shit, which already would cause brain cancer. And then, okay. They found out this statement to be true. That's roughly 7,000 children have been killed by guns since Sandy Hook since 2012. So about in 6 years, 7,000 children have been killed by guns. Yet, if you listen to the March for Our Lives and all these stupid little teenagers, all these Generation Z, I think they are, just complete brain dead feels. Kids who just literally cannot think for themselves at all. They act like they're under attack, like they're in a war zone. They've been killed by the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands by these evil people who own guns, and they have to do this march, and they have to enact gun restriction in order for them to stop getting killed. It's just like, people, put it in perspective. Learn numbers, for fuck's sakes. Cavemen understood numbers, and yet you can't understand numbers. 7,000 children, which is a tragedy. Don't take me out of context and say this isn't a tragedy. 7,000 children in 6 years. Let's do the exact math, because that's roughly 1,000 kids per year, but let's just do the exact math. 1,167 kids per year died by gun violence. While that is tragic and while we want to work for that to get to zero, even though we'll never get to zero because it's impossible to, do it 100%, look at the leading causes of death by age groups. Unintentional injury, neoplasms, suicide, sometimes with guns, sometimes with not. Like, look, just injury alone in this 1 year, 2015, 12,000, some of those are kids, some of those aren't. Just look at the stats. In 1 year alone, 2,000 youth just from that age group were killed in auto accidents. Just, you have to put this in proportion with the other things. People die in this country all the time, unfortunately, by all these things. So you can't take a look at this and say 7,000 children died in 6 years. We need to get rid of the Second Amendment and enact gun control and start a second civil war. And in order for this to stop this, and I already mentioned this before, if you actually enact the gun control that you want and take away people's scary-looking assault rifles to prevent this 7,000 children from getting killed, way more children in the tens of thousands will die in the Second American Civil War that you will start. Why can't you figure that out? I want to get this number down to zero, and I already said before how arming school staff, getting rid of gun-free zones basically down to zero, enabling concealed carry basically everywhere, will get this number down to zero as much as humanly possible. But your idea to confiscate all scary-looking guns, or just AR-15s in general, will skyrocket this number to the tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands. That is why I can't take you seriously. That's why I think you're fucking brain dead. That's why I think you're a fucking idiot who doesn't understand numbers. You want to create infinitely more violence to stop a small number of people killed. 7,000 people in 6 years in a population of 335 million, whatever we are at, is astronomically low. While it is a tragedy, it is such a small percentage of the amount of children killed every year. And you want to just throw this country into the Second American Civil War in order to stop that tiny amount of death. I mean, it's just, holy fuck, you just do not fucking think you don't think whenever you do this, do you? No, you literally don't. There is no fucking way you can look at the stats that I'm throwing out here and saying, yep, that's what we want to do.